Hello good people of YouTube, Mountainbatten here, bringing you my final impressions for the Tier 6 Premium American Battleship, the West Virginia. So, I know this video is more than a bit overdue. I know I say the final impressions video usually come out 2-3 weeks after the second impressions videos come out. But just with the Snowflake event, the Santa containers, the Prince Idol Friedrich, and me being caught up in getting ready for my new job, the video just kind of got lost. Well, not really lost, just pushed back over and over again, and I do apologize for that, especially for you guys that were looking out for that. So here it is now. So the West Virginia 1941, which I don't know if you guys know, apparently they released the 1944 version of West Virginia on the Blitz version of World of Warships, which for those of you that don't know is the mobile version of World of Warships. And that's kind of shady. Wargaming, you said that you didn't really know where you could place the ship to where it be appropriately matched in the tier, and then you release it on the mobile version of the game. Yeah, what's up with that? So that could mean, hey, that could mean a couple of things, guys. That could mean that, you know, they just really need a premium for Blitz, so they just reskinned to Colorado. Or that could also mean that it could potentially be coming out for PC soon. I mean, if they already have it in the mobile version of the game, I would imagine it'd be too much of a hassle to port it over to the PC version of the game. Imagine you have to update the textures, you know, maybe touch up one or two things. So, or it could just be them just, you know, saying screw you to us. But that's a bit shady. Anyway, so the version of the ship that we have in the game is, of course, the 1941 version, which is the pre-Pearl Harbor version. And by far, to me at least, and I'm sure to most of you guys, the appeal of the ship is it is a tier 6 ship with 16-inch guns, which means you can, of course, pierce the bow armor of any ship that you wish, from tier 7 down to whatever tier 6 conceived. Well, tier 5 and some unlucky tier 4s that div up with tier 5s. So not only do you get the ability to overpin the bows, you also get the ability to pretty much not give a crap about ships angling their armor until it's the tier 7 ships, because again, they're 16-inch guns. They don't care about armor until you start seeing some tier 7 battleships, and of course you get the tier 8. It's kind of different. But that's what you're getting, and to me that's a fair package, considering, you know, the ship has less armor. It's maneuverable, but it doesn't turn as well as the other American battleships because it loses more speed in the turns than other American battleships do. It has mediocre at best AA, and with the CV rework being pushed out pretty soon, sometime this month, that's a big detracting factor right now. I mean, because if you've been keeping up with the carrier, with the CV rework videos, you see that ships that used to be absolute no-fly zones are barely shooting down planes anymore, even with full AA builds. So ships like the West Virginia and, well, heck, even the Musashi, I'm not even sure how well they're going to do after the updates. So keep that in mind when you're looking at purchasing this ship. And then you also get, of course, worse torpedo protection because she doesn't have the additional torpedo bulges that the Colorado has. Now, those torpedo bulges also act as additional armor, and again, it doesn't have that. That's more armor covering the citadel of the ship. So, since it doesn't have that, the West Virginia is more easily citadeled than the Colorado. So, keeping all that in mind, I wouldn't say the ship is overpowered anyway because it does have all that stuff going against it. But with the 16-inch guns, and if you equip the plotting room module, you of course can get your range out to, I think it's almost 19-20ish kilometers, which that's pretty dang good for a tier 6 battleship. And that also means when you get up tier to tier 8, which will happen, by the way, it happens a lot, trust me. When you get up to the tier 8, you can still play fairly confident that you can do damage, because I mean, you have 16-inch guns. Most battleships don't get guns of that caliber unless you're the Japanese until around tier 8. So you're punching well above your weight class with these guns, and like I mentioned earlier, even if you meet like tier 6, tier 7 battleships, you can still just lay into them confident that you will do a lot of damage. The guns of this thing are fantastic, they're really accurate, and they keep their pins over range, unlike the Mutsu, because the Mutsu uses a World War I shell, whereas the Colorado uses, the West Virginia uses a World War II era shell. So the AP is really good, can smack the crap out of pretty much whoever you want to. It sounds like an all-around good deal to me. So in my order of tier 6 premium ships, I would probably recommend you buy the Arizona first, then the West Virginia, then the Warspite as my top 3 tier 6 premium battleships. The Arizona really freaking tanky. She has a lot of firepower in her 12-14 inch guns, and she has really great torpedo protection too, especially for a tier 6 ship. But she does have mediocre AA. And then you have the West Virginia there with its massive 16-inch guns, ability to overpin the bows of any ship it wishes. They're accurate, and even if you're not just punching through the noses of enemy battleships, you can just smack the crap out of them with pretty much wherever you hit them, unless they're tier 8. Then you have to worry about their armor angling. In tier 7, with tier 7 battleships, you don't really have to worry about them angling their armor too much unless they get pretty steeply angled. Then your shells will probably bounce. And then you have the Warspite, 15-inch guns, fairly squishy. I would say the Warspite and the West Virginia are 2 very squishy battleships, but I would say the Warspite is slightly tougher than the West Virginia, just ever so slightly, because its citadel is covered by torpedo bulges, whereas the West Virginia's is not. But the 16-inch guns, in my opinion, make up for that. And Warspite has okay AA, in my opinion. Probably is the best AA out of the 3, but at tier 6, well, right now at tier 6, you don't see too many carriers. When the carrier rework comes along, that will more than likely change. So overall, I feel it's a very good buy. Unless you worried about the carrier rework, then it's probably not the best buy because of its lack of AA. But the firepower of it is great. The range is great. As far as modular builds go for this thing, dump everything you can into your primary guns. Get that plotting room module. It allows you to be competitive when you get up tiered. Captain build for this thing, I would go with preventive maintenance first, then MLG turrets, superintendent because you're going to need another heal, and then concealment expert. And then after that, you can decide to go on a survivability or a well, I guess you could also go for a survivability / main battery build, or you could kind of go with a secondary build for the captain skills, because the secondaries on it are pretty decent. I don't really know if it's worth building into it a whole lot, because the ship is slow even for tier 6 standards. So I'm not sure how much you're going to be getting into secondary range with these secondaries. Because I'll be straight with you guys. This ship is slow. I mean, the Colorado is slow. This thing is a nerfed Colorado, so it's equally as slow. I think with the speed flight, you can maybe get it up to 20, 21 knots, 22 knots, maybe. But again, like I mentioned earlier, it has a worse turning speed than the other American battleships. It bleeds speed in the turns quicker than the other American battleships do. So, I mean, you could go for it, although I wouldn't recommend it because, in my opinion, it's just too squishy to be brawling in. And I'm a guy that likes to brawl in my battleships, so this is most definitely a long-range glass cannon type battleship, in my opinion, but still worth the money. Just keep in mind that the CV work's coming soon, so its lack of AA will most certainly be on full display when that rework drops. Okay, guys, that's the final impressions of the West Virginia. Hope you guys enjoyed. I know this video is well overdue, but again, just with my new job and everything that was going on in World of Warships in my life at the time, it did just kind of fall through the cracks until now. And I know I said I was going to be doing 3 videos a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but the Battlefield 5 video that I released yesterday didn't do so good, so this is my apology to you guys, because I thought more of you guys would be interested in that. but evidently not. But you know, here's my apology. You're getting the West Virginia final impressions early. So there won't be a video Wednesday because of this. There'll be a video Thursday and then Saturday. The only way there'll be a video Wednesday is because I know Tuesdays are the days that that games like to the game companies like to drop their updates. I really don't know what's up with that. It just seems like everyone updates on Tuesday. So if Alaska comes out tomorrow, as soon as I get off work, I'll record my first impressions of it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming out with update 8.0, because that is of course when the Musashi and Kronstadt are leaving. They might. I'm really surprised that they're not releasing it a week or two early, so you have the option to get it and the Musashi and Kronstadt. You know, because that's what they did with the Musashi and the Missouri. But you know, Wargaming is going to do what Wargaming is going to do. So we'll all find out when Alaska comes out. So again, guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. On our way to 1,500 subs. We just broke 1,300 subs. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm really just overjoyed by the support I've continued to get from you guys. All the kind words that you guys gave to me. All the kind words on the channel update video. I told you guys I was going to have to cut back production of videos on this channel. It really encouraged me to keep going, guys. So again, thank you guys so much. I hope to catch all you guys in the next one.